Hey, what's going on, guys? Phil here. Welcome back to some Mechwarrior 5 Clans news. We have a new DLC. I called it the Wolves of Tukayyid. Yes, it's happening. I suspected it was going to be Clan Wolf. Why? Okay, before we go on with more DLC info, today's sponsor is Das Print House. I've talked about them before. We've done ads for them, and that's because they're absolutely fantastic. He is one of my channel sponsors for my streams. I'm no Nick, and that is his name. You can reach out to him on Discord, ask him any questions in the 3D printing section. But look, if you are looking for stuff for your tabletop, I can't recommend him enough. Again, high quality prints here. Here's a 3-inch mini. This is a custom one for me. Again, shout out to Rudy for painting and doing this. This was absolutely fantastic in NG and Aces. But maybe you're looking for something a little bit bigger. And it doesn't have to be mechs. It can be tanks, planes, trains, automobiles. Maybe you're looking for tabletop stuff. Maybe you're looking for stuff around the house. Maybe you're looking for something for your business. Again, if there's large quantity stuff that you need done, he is that person. He's, again, a small business here out of the US. So if you want to support a small business here in the US, again, reach out to them. I'll have links down below to his website. You can mention NG and get a discount as well. He's very flexible. If you're looking for something in particular too, you can ask him. He may be able to find it as well. But just want to say thank you again for sponsoring this video. On to the more Clan Wolf DLC. Because Clan Wolf is one of the most favorite clans out there. Sorry, Ghost Bear. Sorry, Smoke Jag. Sorry, Green Turkeys. I do suspect, though, depending on the success of this, we will see a Jade Falcon DLC as well. But anyways, let's go ahead and dive into the details here. Obviously, new DLC is coming December 4th. That's right around the corner. We have less than a month. I sort of was talking about this on my live stream, which, by the way, I do stream Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. through 4 p.m. Eastern. I'll have links down below. I'm on Twitch, I'm on YouTube, I'm on Kick. Come hang out. It's a great time to ask questions live, interact, be a part of the community. So if you'd like to do that, make sure to do that. Okay, let's go to hop down here. We have Greetings, Warriors, Mechwarrior 5 Clans, Wolves of Tukayyid. In the aftermath of Battle of Luthien, Comstar uncovers the shocking truth about their clan allies. TERRA itself is the ultimate target. Alarmed, Comstar sends a proposal to Clan Wolf Ilkan Ulrich Karinsky that could determine the fate of both Comstar and the entire clan invasion. More like the entire inner sphere. Let's not play that. Join Natasha Karinsky's 13 Wolf Guards, the Wolf Spiders, in a 20-mission military campaign. Filled 6 new mechs, including the Ice Ferret, Linebacker, Naga, new chassis, by the way, as far as, like, we don't have it in Mechwarrior Online. Anyways. Incubus, Shadowhawk 2C, 45-tonner, just FYI. The Bane, and wield the tactical power of Arrow 4 and artillery restrikes. The Naga uses, well, some of the variants use Arrow 4. Also, side note for my Mechwarrior Online players, apparently we're going to be getting Arrow 4 in Mechwarrior Online. That's right, and that is according to Teos. So stand by on that one. I don't know how that's going to go. Sure, why not? Why not? Forge a path through the legendary Battle of Tukayyid and claim the honor of Clan Wolf. Now, a little bit of history lesson here, and I'm sure there will be others, like Javen and Big Red that can do a better job. But the Battle of Tukayyid was a pretty pivotal time in the invasion. Basically, when Comstar found out the target was TERRA, which is Comstar's, homegrown. That's Earth, by the way, for those don't know. Comstar was found this out. This is when the Comguards basically become active, and the entire inner sphere realizes, oh, Comstar isn't the pacifist that we thought they were, just guarding their HPG stations, hyperpulse generators, for those that don't know. And basically they challenged the clans to a battle, of might and wits. And they chose the venue, which was Tukayyid. They also, because they chose the venue, they chose locations, and the clans had to basically fight to get those said locations. I'm not going to spoiler alert here, but the Wolves are pretty pivotal in the success of that campaign for them. But do the other clans prevail? You'll just have to find out. Anyways, it's a pretty big deal because it's pretty much the fate of the inner sphere. I think the sort of the clan invasion, yeah, it's more like pivotal for everybody if Comstar were to lose. Now, if you've been following along with clans and sort of their weird speak and so forth, the clan culture basically gamified war. And they did this to reduce basically waste and ultimately destruction. At least that's the justification they've done for it. Okay. In doing so, when you have a game, when you have a set of rules, rules can be not fudged, but confining in space of what you can do. And Comstar picked up on that quite well. And as far as like Talks battletech says, war is not a game. War is just destruction and just death and carnage. And the Inner Sphere doesn't play war. It does war. And the clans like to play war. So stand by on that. Anyways, it is coming out December 4th. And you can wishlist it on Steam. We can go to the DLC page. So let's go do that. And let's scroll down here. A new story, Clan Wolf. And again, for the full disclosure, I'm a Clan Wolf in Exile boy. Okay, look at this. Look at this hoodie. I didn't even know I was doing this video today. And Warden for life. Okay, Clan Wolf in Exile. I'm one of those. I'm not a Crusader. For those that don't know, political spectrum inside clans. Yep, politics in BattleTech. I know it's crazy. Crusaders felt it was their right, their duty to conquer the Inner Sphere and bring back the glory of Star League, whereas the Wardens were like, how about we just, help the Inner Sphere, like, realign their, chakras and, we'll help them. We don't have to destroy them all, but they need some guidance and we'll be that guidance. That's their, Anyways, I'm a Clan Wolf in Exile. You don't know about those guys yet. So anyways. In the aftermath of Luthien, Comstar uncovers the shocking truth. Yeah, we just read this. Open challenge to the invading clans to decide Terra's fate. We have a picture here. Natasha Kerensky, the Black Widow herself. Now, for those unfamiliar with BattleTech lore, Natasha Kerensky was a part of a unit called Wolf Dragoons, which you played for and with in the previous DLCs, or at least you heard of them. You fought against them as Jaguars. She's a badass. She is like the, she's awesome. She's also a little bit aged here, which is rare in clan culture, but she decides to go back to Clan Wolf and leave the mercenary and, fight in glory and, all that. So anyways, this is a pretty unique character. There's a lot of history behind her, and I'm sure one of the BattleTech nerds will cover it in a video. Experience the Battle of Tukayyid as a Mechwarrior of the 13th Wolf Guards. Played through 20 missions. We already sort of read that. Cinematic storytelling and shape the fate. Now, this is something I'm really looking forward to, which is the cinematics. I think we've all really enjoyed that. Even with Mechwarrior 5 Mercenaries, Shadow of Kerensky, where they reintroduced introduced some of these new cinematic things that Piranha Games has learned with clans. Fantastic, by the way. Let's continue that. Obviously, 13 Wolf Guards. A new enemy, the clan's greatest ally, turn against them as Comstar's military branch, the Comguards, issues a challenge to the clans, one that will determine the ultimate fate of the Inner Sphere. Keep in mind, Comstar was sort of like a hidden entity behind the scenes. Comstar on the front was like this very religious techno, cults, if you will. Like, oh, there's hooded robed figures, but behind the scenes, they're and Hans Davian sort of didn't trust him either when, but there's whisperings. They didn't trust Comstar, and rightfully so. They were one of the biggest military units out there. And then on top of that, not just units, but like this peer-to-peer technology. They had SLDF mechs. They had SLDF weapons and tech. They were pretty much peer-to-peer with clan tech. And then on top of that, like I said, the Inner Sphere makes war. It doesn't play war like the clans. So stand by on that. We're going to scroll down here. New mechs. We have 3 Omni mechs and 3 battle mechs. The Ice Ferret. And again, we'll just sort of click here. If you play Mechwarrior Online, you're familiar with this mech. Very fast, very mobile, energy and missile based. It doesn't really have a whole lot of tonnage for ballistics. There are a few variants with ballistics, just tossing that out there. But there's that. The linebacker, this is a super fast heavy. Doesn't have a ton of tonnage, dad joke, for heavy ballistics. It is capable of it. Generally speaking, one heavy ballistic with some backup energy and stuff like that. It's mainly an energy missile boat, but the one thing it has going for it is its speed. I actually found myself in Mechwarrior Online. You got to be careful with this because you can overextend, but in a game like Clans, it'll be interesting. It has firepower, and then quirks. Let's sort of see what it does there. This is the new one here, the Naga. This is a artillery mech. Yes, you heard me right, an artillery mech. That was used for, well, indirect fire, putting warheads on literally mech foreheads. Yeah, so we haven't seen this mech from an official launch standpoint since like Mechwarrior 2. Yeah, so there's that. Definitely very unique. I'll do a complete video, especially if it comes to Mechwarrior Online. I'll cover that. Very unique geometry. Looks very alien compared to some of the other designs here. I actually really dig it. I like the sort of organic look. We have the Incubus. Again, we have this in Mechwarrior Online. Very fast, very agile, light mech. It is a battle mech in the sense of you can change out the engine size, you can save tonnage, you can do bigger loadouts, you can go faster, you can do a lot of stuff. Whereas the Omnis are restricted in that fashion. But repair times are generally faster with this and so forth. We have the Shadowhawk 2C. This is recently added to Mechwarrior Online. I wasn't surprised to sort of see it on this list. Again, I believe Tios, the dev, is the one who did the 3D modeling on this and the Naga as well. Yes, very different from the Shadowhawk, even though the Shadowhawk 2C. Shadowhawk Inner Sphere, 55 tons. Shadowhawk 2C, 45 tons, a little bit smaller. Very energy, very missile based as well. But again, I don't know exact variants that are going to be coming. Then we have the Bane. This thing is ridiculous. If you love ballistics, you're going to love the Bane. If you're like, is that a UAC or ballistic in the arms? How many is that? Is that 10? Is that 14? Your answer would be yes, yes, and yes. The Bane is a just weapons platform. All high mounts, which is absolutely fantastic. If you can see it, you can hit it, generally speaking. What is the weaknesses of the Bane? It's huge. She's thick. She's got some thick thighs here, but albeit this is a beast. It puts the direwolf to shame. And also too is based on how the customization works in Clans and the variants that are included. This is going to be your ballistic platform. Like you want to run 14 UAC 2s, LB 2s. This is your girl right here. So again, we have it in Mechwarrior Online, which by the way, again, I'm going to give a quick shout out to Mechwarrior Online. If you like PvP, you like online play, there's a Mechwarrior Online game that's free to play that no one really talks about when it comes to the other products. It's like the redheaded stepchild. But the reason why we have these DLCs and Mech 5 is because of Mechwarrior Online. So shout outs to everyone that plays MWO. It's been going on since like 2012. For those that didn't know. Now you know. It isn't on console before you ask. PC only, because PC Master Race. Okay, let's go ahead and take a quick look here. New weapons, equip Arrow 4. I'm going to note something here. We see it fire. It's got top down. You notice the arc here, and this is something that's going to be interesting. Okay, it's going to fire up. It's like a yeah, that's going to be interesting. So if the potential mech is behind cover, I'm wondering if you'll be able to bypass that with indirect if your Lance or Star mates, I apologize to all my clanners out there, have a lock on. But yeah, so there's that. That poor commando is no longer with us. Yeah, so this is the base Naga that everybody's familiar with, 2 Arrow 4s. It's funny because its optimal range is 900, but in like, I believe in lore, this is like artillery asset. Like, you're talking about kilometers away. But we also have equip, let's see, clear hostile inside active artillery zone here. Let's see here. Oh, we have artillery. Yes, that's what we're looking at. This is already sort of a feature on mercenaries. What's interesting here is clans, you know, artillery, you think, oh, that's dishonorable. Again, it depends on the clan. I mean, Hell's Horses is predominantly, in this case, a, armored with supplemental mechs, and, it just depends on the clan. Some think of it as dishonorable and so forth. But anyways, we have this already in Mechwarrior 5 Mercenaries. It'll be interesting how it plays out in the game. Obviously, you're calling in an orbital strike, maybe. That's what it looks like. Or artillery on an artillery piece. I see what you did there. All right, and that's it for that. We got some free updates here. MechLab update with new expanded view with drag and drop editing. So you have this. Now, my last video garnered a lot of attention because I talked about changing the MechLab. What I think a lot of people misunderstood about that video is Mechwarrior 4, the MechLab I'm talking about, and what they've already created. It's already here. So if you didn't really quite catch what I was, throwing out here, this is just a cluster of information. It's already there. The Mech 4 system, it's just a lot of unnecessary stuff. So I'll make a separate video on that. But anyways, they made some ease of uses here, drag and drop. That's cool. That's always good. Making the MechLab experience a little bit easier, especially if you're on console. But in particular, this is on PC. You can see a mouse moving around. We also have jump capable mechs. This is huge. Look at this. Vector thrusters. Holy crap. This is something that we have wanted in like Mechwarrior Online for so many years. Now there's two things going on here. There is the vertical thrust, and it looks like the legs. So when you jump up, you have to pivot your legs to go in the direction. So you still have the forward, you still have the thrusters from the, pushing you, but now you've got the legs too. So this is going to be interesting. There you have it. Vectored thrusters. So not only do you have the first person controller, now you have vector thrusters. I'll be interested to see sort of how this works. I believe, I don't know if this is the FPS controllers or not. But yeah, that's going to be interesting. I'll have to see on that one. I don't know. So that's your free updates here. And of course, this is December 4th. So let me know in the comments, were you surprised about Clan Wolf? I was not. I think it was the right move. I enjoyed Ghost Bear's cinematics. What I'm hoping from this DLC is a little bit more in-depth missions. Okay, scenarios, maybe some tactics and strategy. And not just see hammer, bring nail. All that being said, the Battle of Tukayyid is a game of wits, deception, a lot of deception, and figuring stuff out on the fly. And Clan Wolf, well, again, is one of those that may or may not succeed. I'm not going to spoil it for you. If you don't know, you don't know. You'll find out. But we'll be playing it here, obviously, in less than a month here. My suspicion is based on this. We will potentially see a Jade Falcon as well, and that would bring the, that would bring all 4 invading clans. Yes, I know, there's a few on standby that got, blah, 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 but you know what I'm saying. The 4 main that everybody knows. And yeah, I'm not surprised. Overall, interesting to see that they brought in the Naga. That would not have been on my radar at all. I'm not surprised to see some of these other mechs. We still have a lot of chassis that are in Mechwarrior Online that aren't in any of the games. The Stone Rhino is one of those. I was actually surprised that didn't come in. I was actually surprised that they didn't do like the Grizzly for Ghost Bear, sort of the iconic mech. That would have been really cool. Yeah, anyways, are you going to be getting this? Are you going to wish list it? Are you excited for it? Or do you like clans? That's another big thing I've talked about, is looking at Mech 5 Mercenaries and the Sales Mercenaries DLCs. The last one, Shadow Krinsky, did quite well as far as a nice little bump up in stats. The question I have is the bump in Ghost Bear wasn't as high. And I wonder, is that because it is a you play it once and you're done. How do you guys feel about that? Because looking towards the future, I think a combination of this plus mercenaries, I think a lot of people, I think that's why Shadow Kerensky probably did as well as it did, was it brought the new toys to the mercs that can go and do their things and get that sort of power dynamic and all that, and also mechs that you really enjoy. And it added some cinematics that vastly improved the base game. But yeah, let me know how you guys feel about this. Are you excited for more clans content, or would you rather have mercs content? I think that's a fair assessment. Or are you like, why not both? You can have both, Phil. So anyways, let me know down in the comments. I hope to see you on my streams. And again, if you haven't joined us on Discord, I'll have that link down below. Join us. You'll have to answer a few questions to get your roles. I don't do them. And it's like, are you a Comstar spy? You know, are Capellans real people? That sort of stuff. It's super easy answers. And yeah, anyways, guys, I hope to see you on the next video. I'll keep you updated on more Mechwarrior news in general. Until next time, peace.